So I'm just using my eyes and those meters, right? Try to keep them in the red, the yellow at most when you peaks, right? Green and yellow. So I started playing drum set was my first instrument, you know, and before that, like a lot of kids pulling out the pots and the pans and the spoons. In a way, it's awful to say this, sort of thankful for it. My mother is 98% deaf and has always been very, very hearing impaired because of an accident she had when she was 5. And, well, I would never wish that on my own mother. She turned her hearing aids off when I was a kid and would just let me go. Whereas other moms might be like, stop beating on those pots and pans, you're driving me nuts. She would just go, off. So like I practiced anytime and played anytime I wanted, and it really didn't, maybe it drove my sister crazy, I should probably ask her. But I started beating on pots and pans, and then by like 2.5, I had the little paper-headed drum set and smashed that. And then by the time I was in like first grade, you know, my parents had got me a used drum set and started me on lessons. So I've always was a drum set player and really first started playing mostly jazz as a kid. It started from a very young age, involvement in music and in arts in general. I was a dancer for 11 years, from when I was 6 or 7 until I was 17. So to me, that goes hand in hand with drumming. Mm-hmm. If you can drum, you can dance. And if you're playing any music that people dance to as a drummer, you should know how to dance, because it's just a dance. When you dance, it's your whole body moving in different rhythms, and that's what you do when you drum. So I try to make my drummers, if they're willing, take a dance class here, take ballet. I took ballet for a long time, just to kind of get in touch with like their muscle groups and like the way their body feels when they move, and like to try to dance when they play, you know? They should move their body. It's a dance. Yeah. Check. Check 1, 2. Solo that up. And just hit record. Check 1. Yeah, and hit record. Let's see if we can hear you. Okay. Check 1. Check. Seeing the change in a student when they accomplish something. So like, you know, most teachers call that like the aha moment. But like when you're working on a concept and you know that the student doesn't get it because it's new or it's fresh, or you're pushing them intentionally to the edge of their ability, and like that moment where they realize that maybe they're not doing it perfectly, but that they can do it, and that with a little more work and, you know, some dedication or some practice or a little bit of extra help, that they're going to achieve where they want to be. It's like, you know, it's seeing it click, but in a bigger way, like not just one concept, like when things come together and coalesce for a student. It happens often in like private lessons, you know, where you've been working for weeks on a technique or a particular piece of music, and there's this roadblock that you keep hitting, or that you and the student keep hitting, and then one day they're playing and they play right past that spot that was the roadblock, and it's that moment.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah. Eddie was really having a good time with the announcer voice. Yeah, the spacing is not awesome yet.
Did you record this on the condenser?
Yeah, James had some microphones that we used.
Cool. Sounds good. because to me, that's the thing. It's our job as teachers to get students to that point, even if it's about the smallest thing, because by challenging them in a way that is approachable and that is achievable, we're helping them climb the mountain one rung or one step at a time, right? And eventually, they don't realize it, but eventually they're standing on top of the mountain. And when you show them the bottom where they came from and you play them like a recording of themselves from a year ago or 4 years ago when they were a freshman, they get it. Suddenly they see what they've been working on the whole time.